Hey guys, welcome to my little Harry Potter review marathon up until Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. First off, we're tackling Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, so buckle in.
Knock, knock, open up the door.
It's Will! Harry Potter has been a tradition for me for my birthday for a long time. Ever since that first one, I think they released them like this. Like 1 came out then, 2, part 4 did, 6 was initially intended to, but then frickin' Twilight came out, and 7 part 1. Harry Potter, we've grown up with this character, and he's just such an awesome character. This is an awesome book series. J.K. Rowling has done magnificent work bringing this character to life, and Chris Columbus, David Yates, pretty much the whole crew making these movies has done a great job. But we're tackling the first one here. So, like I said, Harry Potter's like a tradition for me. When we saw that first trailer, and even when I read that book for the first time, I was super amped. I was in 4th grade. I was super excited because we got to pick like a book we wanted. I think the book fair just came out, and everybody was talking about Harry Potter. I'm like, what's Harry Potter? Like I was missing out. Like that Pokemon. Like this was one of like the big hyped things. Hell, there was a trading card game for this. We got Wizarding World now. A lot of cool stuff was happening with Harry Potter, and just finally seeing that it was coming to the big screen was awesome. But it almost didn't happen like that. Apparently Steven Spielberg wanted to direct this at one point and make it animated and get Haley Joel Osment, and just, we could have made a completely different story had that happened. And thank God it didn't, because we got to see Daniel Radcliffe and just everyone else and this world come to life for real, like in more than one way. I think a lot of us who like Harry Potter also identify with him a lot. He's an outcast. His adoptive family, the Dursleys, are awful. Some people, I don't know, I won't say that, I can't say that I have lived a terrible life like Harry Potter, but I've always felt like a nerd, like an outcast, like I don't belong. And then I was reading about this character who like wore glasses and was a dork and just didn't feel who didn't feel like he belonged. Finally get where he belongs in the Wizarding World. It was such an awesome book and movie. But like I said, it was an awesome book and movie. And there are things I'm nerdier about like Star Wars, DC Comics, etc. But Harry Potter was definitely like a step in the right direction of leading me into other nerdy facets of life. And it was so awesome. Let's just tackle the story because I'm just rambling and I don't think I'm making too much sense. So let's just jump into it. So the main story is that Harry Potter is like the lone survivor of an attack by Voldemort and his Death Eaters. We don't know that they're called that at this point, but if with 8 movies and now future new installments and The Cursed Child, there's a lot of mythos going on in Harry Potter, so we're using that term. Professor Dumbledore and McGonagall are dropping off with the Dursleys. They're all going to go, and they're all like debating if they should do this. Hagrid ends up being the one that picks him up. A lot of like mythos building here. Like, we could find out like Harry's the boy who lived. It's a nice introduction to the movie. And this movie is directed by Chris Columbus, which if you guys don't know who that is, that's the guy who brought us Home Alone 1 and 2, and eventually Pixels, and Harry Potter 2. And I gotta say, like, that was kind of like the right choice at this point. And even with like some of the John Williams score, like I feel like there's moments that are like very Home Alone-ish, like the da 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 da. You guys know what I'm talking about, like the melodies, like when Harry's like meeting up with like Hagrid. It kind of remind me of like when Kevin McAllister gets reunited with his mom, stuff like that. There's little like winks and nods that kind of like remind you of that stuff, and I think at one point this even takes place around Christmas, similar to Home Alone. But anyway, after we get our introduction and the whole Harry Potter theme by John Williams, we get greeted to Harry Potter as like an 11-year-old and his life with the Dursleys. They have him like locked up in like under the basement. He barely has a room. His cousin his cousin Dudley is a spoiled brat and is like fatter beyond sin. I think they like toned that down a little bit for the movies because they can't make people that cruel. And then something mysterious starts happening. Letters keep coming to Harry, and funny enough, he never gets mail. So Vernon and his Aunt Petunia keep getting rid of the letters. There's one day where things get nuttier and crazier, and the whole house gets flooded with them. So they move out to a lighthouse, and we're greeted with Hagrid. Hagrid is so cool and so nice. He's like a big, hairy, giant uncle. And just like he's really goofy too. He becomes the Beast teacher later on, as we all know, and just he mistakes Dudley for Harry at one point. He's like, "Oh, like you're a bit bigger than I expected, but like, hey, like that's fine." And I believe he gives him a pig's tail because like he steps out of line. Harry doesn't put up with bullshit, and I like that. Like I said, big giant hairy uncle. You get to see Diagon Alley and just the Wizarding World. Like like I think Universal and just Warner Brothers was taking notes and going like, yes, future theme park thing right there. Yes, yes, very good. Yes. There's so much cool stuff here and so much world building here. And this is an origin story, so like we're fine with this stuff right now. Anytime you introduce something new like this, it's really interesting and cool. And I like this. Like I like that they brought the book to life here. We got to see real people, not cartoons. While they're at Diagon Alley, Harry gets to learn more about the Wizarding World, about like who he is, how he's the boy who lived, about he who shall not be named, aka Voldemort, or Tom Riddle, depending on your preference on what to call him. We get to learn about the Philosopher's Stone and how Harry Potter's a celebrity in this world, essentially. And I just call it Philosopher's Stone. Sorry. I just know if any Brits find this video, they're going to be like, oh, it's the Philosopher's Stone there, Will. And now the Brits are going to be like, oh, that's a terrible impersonation of us, Will. And all my American fans are going to be like, oh, Will, it's the Sorcerer's Stone. What are you doing, guy? But we learn about that and how Albus sent Hagrid, how Dumbledore sent Hagrid to get it at Gringotts while he was taking Harry to get his school supplies and reach his bank. It's kind of cool seeing goblins as well and more creatures and just like more facets of this world. Then some time passes. Harry goes to the train station at platform 9 3/4, meets the Weasleys, and makes his first friend in Ron. And Ron's so awesome. I'm gonna say this right now. I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent here, but I'm a Gryffindor, and I probably would be the most like Ron. Not gonna lie. I mean, I'd like to be the main hero, but I'm probably Ron no matter what. And I did my Pottermore quiz. I'm definitely Gryffindor, so I'm gonna own that shit. We also get greeted with Hermione Granger, meeting Ron and Harry. She's so like, she is so like kind of over like Ron's nonsense already, even in this first one. It's like, oh hey, I'm Ron Weasley. He's got like dirt or dust on his nose. And he's like, oh hey, like you got some, and like he tries to rub it off, and he makes it even worse. And he's like, oh, okay, and like even she's showing kindness to Harry. Like she doesn't even before she heard the name like Harry Potter. She's like super nice, fixing his glasses. Very nice character here, and just like. Nice trio and just nice to see these three grow up together. I will say one negative here. Please don't attack me, everybody. But, like I said, these guys are about 10 or 11 right now. They're kid actors. Kid actors can be good sometimes, or they could be Jake Lloyd. They're kind of on the line right now. They're not the best actors right now, but they do grow into the roles and become super awesome by the Deathly Hallows Part 2. That is one negative I have. There is another later on I will address, but... Besides that, they are fine, and they're awesome being kids right now. We're then greeted to Hogwarts and how first years get there, and the sorting hat ceremony, and meeting Draco. Draco's a fucking asshole. He's even an asshole to Barry and Harry. What's up with him and Aries? Does he want that name? Does he want to be Derry? Does he want to be legendary? Is that what it is? Then greeted with the sorting hat, where Harry's going like, oh, not Slytherin, because he like knows like Draco has been sent there. And he knows it's associated with bad people like Lord Voldemort and other no-goods. So he's kind of like, no, not Slytherin. Gets put into Gryffindor with Ron, Hermione, and a bunch of other good-hearted, awesome, courageous, fierce friend people. And there's just so much more awesome world building here with Hogwarts. Like, that set is amazing. We also get greeted with Professor Snape, played awesome by Alan Rickman. Very nice. He's such an asshole to Harry, but we'll learn later why. And Professor Quirrell, and we can see all the other professors at the dinner table. Professor McGonagall again. A lot of cool people. We also get to see more how the school operates. Harry and Ron are late one day for class, and they go to the Transfiguration class. McGonagall disguises herself as a cat and like sneaks up and scares them. That is a cool effect, but some of the CGI later in this movie is not. Like when they're playing Quidditch or just some other things. Like the troll is good at the time, but I guarantee you watch it right now, you're going to look at that troll later on and you're going to be like, eh. And speaking of Quidditch, Harry finds out like he is a Quidditch master. They have like the little broom class because that's a necessity in the Wizarding world. And Draco's being an asshole to Neville, and Harry has to go get this remember all. He wants to go get. He goes to get that at Hogwarts, and McGonagall sees him and like shows him like, hey, like your father was part of the Quidditch team. Like you should try out and be a part of it. But he's going, but I'm 11. Like I'm not meant for greatness. I'm Harry Potter. No one likes me. Boom. There's your key right there. Playing Quidditch, and Quidditch is such an interesting game, but it's a bit confusing, and the CGI does not make it look good in this first one. But then we're put into the main plot. Harry remembers stuff about the Philosopher's Stone. It's weird goings-on are happening at Hogwarts. Like the cave troll being released. He thinks Snape is trying to get the Philosopher's Stone to bring back Voldemort. and he thinks like he's still a Death Eater. So after the awesome world building and just setting up the world of Harry Potter, like our main protagonists are on the quest to get the Philosopher's Stone, Sorcerer's Stone, whatever you want to call it. They need to get it before Professor Snape does. Or else they think it's Professor Snape because like obviously Snape doesn't like Harry, etc. And this whole movie has been setting it up, and even in the book, Harry learning how to fly on a broom and just being good at Quidditch helped him with his task of getting the broken key. The giant wizard's chessboard was set up earlier with Ron being a big wizard's chess fan, and when they were fighting the weird little plant things, there was a little spell Hermione had learned because she's a bookworm and knows everything. Like she's the instant fix for everything. Then we reveal a huge twist in the movie where Professor Quirrell is actually the main bad guy and has Voldemort on the back of his head. Oh, we should have known. I mean, that's a weird turban, right? Right? Am I wrong there? I mean, I know the wizarding world dress is weird, but come on now. That was so weird. Harry's able to beat him with the power of love and gets the Sorcerer's Stone from his parents in the... I forget what the mirror is called, but the mirror that shows you, like, your greatest desires. Dumbledore leaves him with some stories and just says, oh, hey, like, you can't bring your parents back, and you were able to beat Voldemort because of love, blah, blah, blah. Harry goes back, and everybody's like, oh, I can't believe we're leaving. Harry's like, oh, I'm not going home. Not really. And, like, we play with the whole John Williams music, similar to Home Alone. Like I said, comparisons here because Chris Columbus. And it's actually a pretty solid movie. This first one is not perfect. Like I said, like, if you guys couldn't tell from earlier in the video, I do have some quarrels with this, but it's still a decent movie. But I have to be fair here. Without the nostalgia goggles, I have to give Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone a 3.5 out of 5. It's a good setup story, and with the kid actors growing into the roles, it does take some time to get going, but I do like this. There's a lot of cool world building, and just there's a lot of good in there to redeem any, quote, bad stuff. But what did you guys think? How did you get introduced to Harry Potter? Or just talk about your first experience seeing this movie. Let me know in the comments below. And as always, guys, when there's a will, there's a way. And as always, guys, at the end of these videos, unless I put another end card here, you should be able to click the subscribe button up there, or check out my latest videos, or just a playlist. Just let me know what you guys think. And as always, when there's a will, there's a way.